Hey guys, welcome to my first mini instructional. So we will start with the high Bodylock series. And if you subscribe now, or if you just bought it, I will do one instructional a month on this Patreon tier, and you will obviously get everything else from all of my Patreon content. And yeah, the instructional will be about, I try to make it something between 30 and 40 minutes. I don't know how long it will turn out because I want to give you all the information. The thing about this is, if I do a whole instructional on a topic, it usually takes 3 to 4 hours to film, and it's 1.5 hours of content. And I want to have specific topics where we really dive into it. We have no rush, and I want you to be very good at this. So if you do this for 1 month, this is what I think about. Like if you have a mini instructional and you work on this, if you work 1 month on this, I think you can achieve really good skills. And we experiment a little bit with the mic. I don't want to have it on me just because if I do the body locks, maybe you can't hear me. So it's all experimental. We will find the best things in a couple of months. So I will have my notebook here and all of my notes. It's a one take. So first of all, let me explain what a high body lock is. And before we start, understand that I believe the high body lock is very underutilized, and it's a quick fix from the low body lock to the high body lock. And I had a lot of success against really good people in the world with the high body lock. So even if there's a skill level gap, like for example me against the best in the world, if I could get a high body lock, the chances are pretty good that we can still pass. And Linus uses this also pretty fine, also in all the tournaments. So yeah, let me explain what it is. I try to have it as close as possible, the mic. Yeah, I think we go right here. So normally what you see is people going low with the body lock. Okay, and this is pretty solid. You can definitely do this, but I have a big issue with this. We will look at this later, what the pros and cons are from the high body lock. But if you go low, you control the hips pretty fine, but not the upper body. So if you have strong framers, what you can do is use the hand and yeah, exactly push you away. And you saw exactly this with Gordon against Nicky Rod. And this is why Nicky Rod had a lot of trouble of actually finishing the pass. So even if my partner pushes me away and and I somehow manage to clear the legs, I still need to get chest to chest. And my partner has a lot of space to bring his legs back. Exactly. And the low body lock is also not really painful. It's a good lock on the hips, but it's not painful. The other thing Oh, sorry. The other thing is that you can also look at high tripod passing, and I believe this is a really, really strong pass, but this also has some issues. So if I use the high tripod pass, now we have the opposite. I control the upper body pretty well, but not really the lower body. The good thing is I don't need to control the lower body if I have perfect positioning. But if my partner uses a very strong overhook against me, yeah, he can break the upper body positioning. So now he can use his legs and, for example, bring his right leg onto my hip. Okay, yeah, and now I have a lot of problems. So the idea was to somehow combine the best of both worlds. And actually, I figured this thing out when I injured my hand. So I have 4 to 5 ligaments that are torn or partially torn in my hand. And in the same day, I was pissed at the guy that did it. So what happened naturally is that, sit up, Linus. Exactly. What happened naturally is because I couldn't connect my hands in a gable grip, that's usually what I do, or an S grip, I was going as tight as possible. So I locked my hands wrist to wrist, and I was going really, really high. And just because I was a little bit pissed, I pulled my partner and I pushed all of my weight into him. Okay, accidentally I was falling on him. And the moment you do this, this is where you start applying a lot of weight and pressure. And this is very, very painful. So if you have perfect positioning and you do it on your partner, you will see that it's very painful. So this is pretty much the high body lock. And let me also explain when I think it's a high body lock. I will explain properly how to lock it, but just understand, Linus, can you turn your back? If we, you can sit here, I just want to show the point where I lock it. So I think the high body lock is everything above the abs line. So if you have the abs here, Linus' abs are right here, perfect. So if I lock above this, this is where we start with the high body lock method, because you have a wedge on the upper part of the body. And this is where the spine is very, very sensitive. Okay, it's close to the neck, it's close to the arms. If I lock it here, it goes more to the legs. But if I lock it here, you will feel it immediately in the upper body. So this is what I enjoy a lot about playing this style if you do it properly. Okay, now we come to the second thing that I want to talk about. I have my MacBook here so I can look at it. And it's benefits and downsides from the high body lock. So let's talk about the benefits first. The benefits are that the control after the pass is pretty good. And I touched on this a little bit, but I will explain it even more. If I go with a normal body lock pass, so let's say I everything can see, yeah, perfect. Okay, so let's say I go with a normal body lock pass, and let's say I go for the 2-on-1 and I pass my partner. Even if I pass my partner and my partner is not framing me with the low body lock, I'm not really controlling his upper body. So he can turn into a turtle. And exactly, perfect. And you can see this especially with Nicky Rod, that he passes people on the legs, but the moment he passes, they can go up, and then he needs to attack the turtle.